Man, I'm 32, born and raised here, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Uh, it's been a long journey, man. I think my journey's definitely been unorthodox for the longest, man. I kind of grew up in a household where I wasn't allowed to listen to rap. Uh, Funny enough, my first rap album of any sort was a cassette was Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP edited. That's when mom finally let me gave in to that size. I grew up on a lot of alternative rock, man. As odd as that seems, man. So I think from a songwriting standpoint, I think that's definitely benefited me moving forward is having that type of past, that type of music to listen to and to grow into other side blues. Obviously, I'm mixed, man. So my mom's white, my dad's black. So you already a melting pot of different types of musics that I grew up on as far as what I could listen to and what they value. Um, I got an album dropping pretty soon, man. I'm really excited. It's MPGA, Mixed Perspectives, Gray Areas. It's my life in a nutshell, man. I did God and Women two years ago, and something I did on a really local level, more so for myself, man, to honestly see if I could even do music. It was my first ever piece of music I put out. I didn't start rapping until I'm gonna come back to the album. I didn't start rapping, man, at all till I met Pompey when I was about 17. Dante Pompey, 2XL, man. That's pretty much my only affiliation.
How are you now?
Yeah, 32.
32.
32. I mean that's literally like freestyling with huge anxiety, and I wouldn't do it around certain people. It was just basis. I mean, everybody I was around, man, that's just what they did. Where I was working, I was working at Taco Bell, and Pompey was the manager. So I got me and my best friend worked there at the same time, and then we met Pompey and just kind of grew our relationship, and then from there, obviously, we 15 years deep now, friends and music and all that. But yeah, man, I mean. I listen to him. I would sit there just quiet, man, nothing. I probably didn't write my first original song, man, in all honesty, till I was about 30. Like, it wasn't one of those things. I always worked in corporate America. I was at 21, I was in Best Buy for 7 years. At my peak, man, and I had anywhere from 20 to 40 employees at all times. So music wasn't a thing. I went to college. I graduated high school with honors, man. 4.2. I went to Putnam City Original. Graduated in 2004. Um, Definitely not the typical rapper story, man. Honestly, I don't even like being called a rapper. I prefer MC artists because I put all of my life into this. There's no fabrication. There's not what people think is cool, man. I've lived a completely different type of lifestyle, man. After I was in management at Best Buy, I went to a car dealership. I was a manager there. Basically, man, I spent in one of my songs called Scenic Route. It's one of my favorite verses or favorite lines from my album, and it says, "Spent my 20s on a life that never wiped me," and meaning that I gave everything, man. I did all these other things, man. I follow all these other people. What your parents think you do, or what society tells you what to do, or you ahead of the curve because you here at this position. And I'm 21. You know what I'm saying? In a restructuring Best Buy, going up against 40-year-olds that have been managers, and I'm in a entry level management position, and still getting those jobs over them people, man. So it's and having to deal with that. I mean, you working in the same area. I've seen a lot. I've saved up and paid off all my bills, man. Like I've paid, I'm fortunate, blessed, to work and be able to pay off all these things to get to this point. Long story short, is my 20s, man, I didn't really rap. I mean, I did. That's where I found my passion, but it was mixtape stuff, and a lot of the stuff was with XL, 2XL on the stuff that we did, the compilation albums and everything like that. But as far as my own stuff, I probably, when I was about 23, 24, I got into the mixtape thing where I was doing other people's songs that were huge, industry songs, and either using the same tempos they had for the hooks and making my own words and trying to do that to no avail, man. But I can't ever say seriously, no matter, now I'm making decisions. I'm at this point quitting Best Buy to stepping down from supervisor to go back to part-time so I can do music more. I've done that for 10 years, and at that point, you know what I'm saying? Shit, people, excuse me. And even to this point, I've not done enough to be called anything. You know what I'm saying? As far as to expect me to be in a different place than where I am now, unknown or. I mean, I'm exactly where you're supposed to be. I mean, that's what it is. I don't deny the lack of work ethic. You know what I'm saying? In real honesty, in this when this is.
You mean you feel like you've had a lack of work ethic?
Oh yeah, towards the music, hands down, hands down. Even now to this day, trying to learn how to get out of it because man, it was a pipe dream. You know, this music was always it was just a pipe dream. When I was doing other people's stuff and doing other, it was just to oh man, this is to replicate or I think I could do this. Life changed, man. There's a few things that have happened in my life in my 20s that changed me, where music all of a sudden became my outlet. It became my therapy. It became the way that I was able to deal with the things that I was going through because I wasn't about to go sit down and talk to like a counselor or a therapist and things like that. That's not how it was going to be for me at that time. So it wasn't until, man, literally, I remember shit, man, that happened that completely changed my life, man, and all I would do was write because that's all I could do. You know, it's all that was the only thing that I could get out or outlet or how much I wanted to divulge or just for something to sometimes, man, I just needed to hear myself saying these thoughts as opposed to just keeping them in. So music at that point, that's when I started to like kind of realize on my own, it's like, all right, this is deeper than me.